Give me just a few minutes, everybody, and we'll be ready here in a moment. Alrighty, everyone, we are back with a little bit of Neverness to Everness at the moment. This stream is going to be, in fact, multi-purpose because the idea here is to help people with their accounts for Goddess of Victory Nikke while also simultaneously just vibing and chilling for today. Since we are doing Neverness to Everness streaming, what I'm going to do is, and I quote, push back to our initial mission that we're supposed to go through, and once we get done with the mission that we are intended to be doing, then we'll pause at the next mission we're supposed to be at, so that way we can get a little bit of everything done all at once. I think that's going to be the most reasonable way to get this done. So first things first, let's see if we can go borrow somebody's car here so we can actually get moving.
One of those fake accident scams? According to
I
Article
need you to hand that over, please, and thank
Operations
you.
Code,
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Anyway, please.
Welcome to the stream, guys. So we're gonna take a quick ride and drive over, and while we're driving over there, we'll talk about this. If any of you are finding yourselves struggling in video games, particularly Goddess of Victory Nikke, Neverness to Everness, or heck, even Zenless Zone Zero, have you considered lootbar.gg? I know, everyone's going, oh my gosh, lootbar, monetization, pushing things, but hey, listen, we gotta keep the lights on, right? So, it's just facts. At the end of the day, we want to get good gaming going, and you want to see more things happening. It's kind of helpful if we all keep it pushing. So let's work together and see if we can get anywhere. Currently we're on the road to 500 as is, so that's where we're at with this. Ooh, not meaning to sideswipe those, but it is what it is. Anyway, enough with advertising. Let's just get back to gaming, eh? So, if when we hop on to Goddess of Victory Nikke, I know a few people are already in the process of looking to get account healing, and account healing is, well, exactly as pre-stated, healing accounts that absolutely need it, because I've come to a realization that not everybody has the same amount of information when it comes to these games, and so, well, let's hold on, just make sure we park properly first of all. And so, to help heal accounts, my idea is pretty simple. It's up to you how you want to go about it, but we can go ahead and log on to accounts via the logins, and we're not going to use passwords. I'll just send the request codes, that way you guys can actually overall work out how y'all want me to do this. And if you need help with something in specific, or you're unsure of how to do something, ask and I will show you how to do it on stream.
The reception.
Let's get this started. Seems as if
39,999 funds? Running a photo studio is daylight robbery.
So it seems like things have been going missing from this particular video store, and that's okay. That's a little concerning if tables are turning into literal pictures. These things are floating on their own.
Such exquisite samples, capturing life and expressions with great care.
All right.
This looks like the employee's workspace.
Seems like we're supposed to just investigate this area and then clear whatever anomaly is a problem here.
Things have been going missing from the photo studio for a while now. Things turning into photos. It's probably just reaching the breaking point.
I would imagine some angry ghost is not too happy with whomever runs this store.
Thank goodness boss lady never makes us write commission reports.
That's because she's too lazy to read them.
Wow, ouch. Oh. What's going on here?
Whoa. What happened?
flashing screen.
No anomaly presence detected around here. Don't worry.
Toggy-do? If you keep startling us, I'll throw you into this pile of TVs.
These models don't look too different. Could use them as set pieces. Get double the work done.
Taki-taki. Tata-taki-do.
What? No breaking things or you'll be left here as collateral.
I mean, you are TV.
Taki-do. Tagi. It looks even funnier now.
Is that Tagido's ability?
Yes. Tagido can deconstruct objects he touches and then reconstruct them. Although it's limited to what he can perceive, for an excellent restorer, this is still an invaluable aid.
Tagi-taki.
Yes. It's very impressive.
All right, let's continue our investigation. The sooner we finish, the sooner we can call it a day.
Alright, so take a look in here.
So many photos.
Whoa.
I can't tell what they originally were anymore. Can't be my glasses, right?
This is a photo studio. The anomaly is turning items into photos. So the culprit must be the camera.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Taki-do.
So that's how things turn into photos.
That bookshelf seems to be targeted by a viewfinder. As Sakiri guessed, the anomaly nexus might be related to cameras. Let's use that as a clue.
You may now admire me for 10 seconds. Doggy!
Luckily, no one's hurt.
Did not see that coming.
A good thing it can't turn us into paper people. Be cautious. Don't let it catch you off guard.
So the camera is attacking us. That's a new one. Ooh. Alright. Head on up.
Oddity spotted.
Don't damage the shop, especially with memory and security.
Okay, I'll restrain that power. Oh, the contract says we don't have to pay for damages.
Reputation. Reputation.
Got it. What a hassle.
There was one over here just now. Ooh, nope.
Time for the professionals to take over.
Let me take over.
And we go back. Alright, so
Since it's the camera causing trouble, let's split up and check. I'll go this way.
Let's finish this.
did not mean to alt at random. Use the different buttons for his Endless and Arknight. It's entirely on me though. It's fun, we can still work without it. So try a film camera. Let's pause for a bit. You could let me. Okay. So essentially, they use a different type of film, and it may, in and of itself, cause a problem.
It's broken.
All right, so let's take these guys apart.
I'm here, Coco. Blown away. Here comes the whirlwind.
Got the blossom effect off that. Nice, nice, nice. Oh,
Out of the way,
yeah.
chumps.
So
It's gone.
interesting.
Here's a photo that's not overexposed. Seems quite old.
Film orbit grand opening. It's the owner.
Didn't look so fretful back then.
How are we supposed to get in there? Can't quite walk through walls. Aha, it changed the scenery. This camera. I see.
Here it comes. Your express delivery. I can see you all.
Troublesome. All these broken cameras. Can't tell what's wrong.
According to records, there might be a batch of new digital cameras in the equipment room. We might find more clues there.
Oh, so someone really does read those records.
Won't open.
Haven't let Kiramaru out for a walk today. Should we just...
That viewfinder-like thing has been following us. We can lure it over and use it to erase the door.
Okay, there seems to just be a bunch of random creatures all over this place. So I say we take them apart and then work our way out.
Let me take over. Uh-oh. Caught red-handed. Looks like another space created by an anomaly. I gotta find a way to get out. Everything in here is the opposite of what they are in the world out there.
Is this the cause of the anomaly? Yeah, we got out.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Let's check the third floor.
Alrighty. So to the next floor we go. Let's hit these boys with a quick ult.
I'm here, Coco. Don't doubt me.
Separate and then annihilate. Easy put down.
Leave it to me.
Okay. This is a beautiful scenery, honestly. Look at that water from just the graphics alone. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, let's find out what else is in here. Yeah, a lot of camera horror movies. It's a little concerning because I've seen a lot of horror films that do end with someone taking a picture and then, you know, people either get stuck in that place or worse.
Wow. This sword suits my taste.
They literally have a Fate reference right here.
Maybe we can...
No.
That's kind of awesome.
Don't be so cold.
Okay, so we gotta check out the different areas for the
sounds quite
settings.
tasteful.
Okay, that makes sense.
What tasteful? I should include this in the family initiation exam.
Pretty lively here.
I'm here to help.
Been on Beyblade? some space. Give chase. Put him down. Alright, so we seem to have taken care of these guys pretty easily, honestly. See what else is around here. Are we supposed to go down and around? Nope. This way. Alright. Yeah, I do think Fate Strange Fate, because that's a series I really like. I think it'd be pretty good for a collab for this. From what I understand right now, Porsche and Persona are doing a collab with Neverness To Everness.
Very clear.
Oh, cutscene.
No
I'll mute.
signs of overexposure. Shuba, notify everyone to come here.
Huh. This photo is very clear.
This room is dark, and the anomaly photos are clearer here than anywhere else. The culprit must be in this room.
Makes sense, makes sense.
That being said, combining what we've seen so far, I have an idea of what it could be.
Huh. Detective Adler, please enlighten us.
The floating photos we saw before were all somewhat overexposed and blurry. But the photos from this dark room are normal. This characteristic is reminiscent of film. The anomaly might be related to film.
Film?
Remember the grand opening photo of Film Orbit we saw on the second floor? It was taken with a film camera. Nowadays, few people use film cameras. Film is typically developed in a dark room to prevent exposure to light, which would ruin the photos.
That explains the difference between the photos here and elsewhere.
Quite the nostalgic anomaly. Alright, let's look for anything related to film.
I found a key to the basement earlier, but haven't investigated it yet.
The dark basement. It's likely where Adler said they developed films.
Yes, that makes sense.
Looks like we're getting closer to the truth. Tagido!
Chat, they want us to go discover into a dark basement. This doesn't sound like a horror film. How?
Tagido. Step there! Doesn't that look like an exit?
A negative space. Adler was right. The anomaly we're looking for is definitely related to film.
When I was captured, I also entered a space like this.
Okay, we slipped off the track.
Laboratory.
Some things in the dark can't stay hidden any longer.
Okay, so we don't get to shortcut this. Understood. So it looks like there's a somewhat preset path for me to follow here. Let's follow that along and see where we go. Yeah, there's stairs right here. That makes sense. Am I allowed to go down? Ah, okay, the white spaces. Something tells me we're gonna have a very interesting boss fight later.
This space is chaotic. These must be images captured by the viewfinder.
Compared to my first entry, the anomaly's power seems to have increased.
Alright. Oh, welcome to the stream. Manager, for all intents and purposes.
That sneaky viewfinder keeps following us. So annoying.
Alright, so as long as we keep moving, we can get around this. Ah. Just barely got caught again.
Again?
It's stronger now.
This is getting old.
This thing does not like us actually getting closer. Oh, it sounds like it's having a problem then.
I'm here, Coco. Don't doubt me.
Pretty lively here. Let's settle.
This should kill everybody. Oop.
I will see through the nexus.
All right, got him. Welcome to the stream.
Tadaki!
Let's head to the basement.
The basement we go.
More dust than Avon's storage room. Looks like it hasn't been used in a long time.
After film became obsolete, this place started to be forgotten.
Takido, remember that manga we read? Underneath here, there might be heads and feet growing. Doggy? Huh?
Well, it is a boss fight.
I will see through the nexus.
Thunderbolt, it's our turn! Just warming up.
Well done. Dispel.
Let's finish this!
Let's witness the dawn of the Coluchis! Can't touch this! You can challenge me? Yeah, watch out, fool! Your Haru's faster than this! Right?
Here, stay safe.
May you find eternal peace.
Check that! The city's mine!
Did they just unleash a Chrono Trigger combo strike?
Prolonged fight. Everything with form is unreal.
I will see through this device. By Zero!
Hero to the rest, everyone! Follow my command!
copperhead.
Yeah, get it, Kirimaru!
Trust me. Let's finish this!
All that from a developing film. Alright, now that's a
Time to
little
wrap up.
concerning.
Let's get paid and take our photo.
Accurate security. You can take turns kissing my left hand for the photo. No way!
It did try to drop a building on me at least twice. Well, chat, it looks like we actually got a little bit of movement done. That was an interesting boss fight. Neverness to Everness still fails to disappoint when it comes to this game. But it's never, ever leaves me wondering what's coming next, honestly. This game has given me so many opportunities to go, alright, so they meant open world.
Half off.
Oh.
We're always on a half-off sale. Quiet!
Okay. Next time. Since Hotori requested film photography, your photos won't be ready today. I'll have them delivered to A-Bone tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. We'll be on our way then.
Take care.
Floating on a sky, fooled by Hattori just like that.
I'm not fooling. Spend wisely, save wisely. Got it? I'm helping Adler out. Mischief makers don't care about the shop's finances. The fish tank from the last commission. The roadblock
Okay.
before that.
So even attacking out in the area open is actually pretty good. It's doable.
Look how worried Adler is. He's aged a lot recently.
Oh, and we can just spawn a Vespa at will.
Why did you suddenly want film photography?
A little nostalgia.
I guess we
isn't
can
bad.
return back.
Plus, we run an antique shop.
So let's
Just vibes with older things.
back it up a bit here. And head on back to the original place. Sorry about that, lady. Once we get back to Avon, we will be actually pausing for Neverness to Everness for the day, and we'll be getting to Goddess of Victory Nikke next. Oof. Okay, so apparently this is simply stuck here. Oh, they got a new parking spot. We can just walk, it's not a big deal. Besides, oh, ooh, what is that? Did you just spit somebody out? Oh, okay. Telephone booth spit somebody out for the second time now.
All right, that's a wrap. Rest up, everyone. I have a feeling A-Bone is going to get busy.
I feel like I've heard that many times before.
Yeah, the Genshin character,
You don't get it.
she does, the Ichidame does
Different
look a lot
now.
like a Genshin character, not only.
We've got
Yeah.
a treasure here, and business will follow. The wheel of fortune has turned, and it's about time fortune favored us. Cha-ching!
She hasn't even had a drink. Who's going to wake her?
Lady has a point. With the appraiser's help, A-Bone will surely see new opportunities.
That's a lot for me as a newcomer. No pressure, right?
New opportunities! New opportunities!
We'll go ahead and collect our achievements here real quick. And just like that, we've come to an NTE pause. So give us a second, chat. We'll be right back so we can actually get to Goddess of Victory Nikke.
Goddess of Victory! Nikke!
So as we're logging in today, even though dailies have not reset yet, we'll check the mail, seeing as we got a few things. Co-op has definitely co-opted. So I guess I'll go over this really quick while I'm on stream with you guys so we can actually get a few things out of the way. Whenever co-op actually does happen and or there's 2 days left for Arena, you guys should really start trying to push Arena as much as possible because it'll help with the currency that you need to level your account. One of the biggest things is being able to actually get this particular manual here. I already purchased it since yesterday, so I can't get that at the moment. But the reason this is important is because these elemental books here, this gives you 25 of whatever element you want. And if you see an element you need here, prioritize getting these first because leveling your account is arguably one of the most important things here. Arms manufacturer is a priority as well, but it's not nearly as necessary and priority unless you absolutely need gear and you have other gear you can afford to get rid of. That being said, when it comes to this shop, in the order that we usually want to grab things, first things first, gems, because gems allow us to get more characters. The tickets are great, but core dust, because you need that stuff to level. Maintenance kits come afterwards, and then guaranteed manufacturers are also absolutely necessary for when you're trying to get your gear that helps you actually overall get to different pieces of gear that you need, because once you get to 100 of these, it allows you to just go ahead and grab whatever you need. I believe it's 200 actually, but still. The workbox is also really useful, but that's the last thing that's of interest here. And then from there, we just grab all the tickets. The game gives you a good amount of credits and battle data, but if you're struggling for battle data or credits, then I would say come here and grab that. Since purchase all is currently active, it's just going to grab all of it at once. So we can hit that and it'll grab all of it. Okay, let's see. Now if we were to go to inventory and take a look at what's sitting there, this gives us quite a bit to work with because this particular box, the good teamwork box, gives you ultra boost modules. That's definitely one of the things you want to also put a priority, because it does give you the opportunity to, and I quote, level your units. Getting gear leveled is arguably one of the best things for full building characters, and if any of you are struggling with that, then we can go ahead and do that today on account healing, so I can help you guys out on stream. That being said, does anyone have any questions, and or who wants to get their account healed first?
I knew you'd feel the same way I do.
All right, so for those of you that are interested in getting account healing, already, in that case, go ahead and DM me on Discord your email address, and I'll send the login verification code. You will have to be on it with sending the verification code through, because it's pretty quick, honestly. It takes about 3 seconds or so. So just be on the lookout for that.
I knew you'd feel the same way I do.
That being said, if you guys are not a part of the Discord, by all means, feel free to add me on Discord. My Discord name is MightyEX.
I knew you'd feel the same way I
Alrighty.
do.
Nova, I guess we'll do yours first. Give me just a second here to log out of Nikke and get set up so we can actually go in. I did not mean to relog into the game. But I will be doing this for everyone that's interested. Just DM me your email address and then I'll send a verification code, so that way I don't have anybody's passwords and you guys don't have to worry about security risks or anything like that. Cool. Login actually failed, so that works out. Account center. Switch accounts. All right. So Nova, gonna send the verification code real quick. Just type it into the chat here in the live chat or in Discord, whichever is quicker, and we'll go from there. Ready? There is a small delay from when I speak versus what's actually going on. I'm aware of that. So we'll go ahead and try this at least twice if it fails the first time. Okay. 3, 2, 1, send. All right, and we're in. So hang on just a moment. We'll go ahead and get into this so we could take a look at your account. Aragon, I don't mind taking a look at your account as well. Give me just a moment, and as soon as we finish with rainbows, we'll go ahead and take a look at yours. As much as I like Velvet and Snow White, I'm quite happy with mine.
The goddess of victory, Nikke.
Hopefully there's the backgrounds here are safe for work. Alright, so we're opening with the siren background. This is actually pretty nice overall looking at. Let's see what you have for Nikke's. I see, you're a Cinderella fan. Makes sense, makes sense. Just, you know, we're gonna avoid using any Nikke terms here on the stream because I can see that you actually are making a little bit of progress. Let's see what your units look like overall. Charge damage, hit rate, LM damage. It's not too bad. Defense, LM damage, charge damage, nice. This piece is a good piece. This is a really good piece here. Crit rate, crit damage, charge damage, and attack. Okay, so starting with Cinderella, since Cinderella is apparently one of your favorite units, I strongly recommend, and before I do anything, do you mind if I use any of your resources here on stream so that way we can actually try to help your account actually heal further?
Be sure to watch our new story through to the end. It is sure to be beautiful. Please try and maintain your current appearance, Prince. If your beauty fades, your audience will
Alright,
abandon
so in that case, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of work here. We're gonna lock this because that charge damage is absolutely necessary. Same for LM damage. The goal here is to try to get rid of the hit rate and see if we can roll for either max ammo or crit damage here. So let's see what we get. Didn't really get anything off that, so we'll keep the effects here. Third slots are usually the hardest things to get, frankly, so it's better if you manage to actually keep third slots. The first slot is always the easiest to re-roll, so that one you can work on re-rolling that eventually. We're not really getting anything off that. You don't have any more box at the moment, so since we can't actually get that, the goal here for you specifically, yes I did. And so the goal here specifically is to try to get this particular secondary line as soon as you can. Just re-roll it until you get to either crit rate or crit damage, preferably crit damage if you can, because Cinderella being a defender has pretty high overall base crit rate as is. And if you can help it, try to at least get max ammo. One of the two. Max ammo would be the priority, I feel, because more ammo equals more damage. Since Cinderella does fully charge and doesn't have to keep shooting after, well, she doesn't have to charge again to keep shooting. Let's take a look at your next unit here, Snow White. And this one is a personal favorite because Snow White is really, really good as a unit to begin with. She does so much work for no reason. You don't have the ability to grab this yet. Did you get co-op rewards yet? No, you did not. Okay, so we'll go back to that. What do you have for cubes? Okay, good. Skills are slowly getting up there. You need 35 of the element books to level this, so you could 10 this off, but I would strongly suggest waiting until you actually have everything else set. Let's see what your base squad team is. This should actually give you an idea of what to do from this point further. Okay. I see. This isn't a bad squad, but it could use a little bit of work. So, all right. So here's what we'll do for you. I'm gonna set a base squad here for you to work with. This squad does work really well, but Red Hood is no longer really a viable unit personally, and especially because out of all things at the moment, you really want. Oh, you have Moran. Okay, because you actually have Moran with favorite item. Try to work on Moran. Try to work on Rouge. That'll actually allow you to swap Red Hood off. And with a setup like this, you should be able to get some work in. Rappy is really, really strong, but who else do you have for burst 2? Okay. So, given that you want your team to be set up to do a lot of damage really quickly, and you're looking for a way to actually get more gems, I would assume, based off of what you currently have, because gems will allow you to continue to level the rest of your account by proxy, essentially. Yeah, she is the only rocket launcher that doesn't want charge speed. That's true. Oh, no problem. You're welcome. But with this, with using Cinderella here, you have a couple of options you can work with. If you can help it, try to get Velvet. Since we are doing account healing, I'm just gonna alter this a little bit for you because, well, we could do it like this realistically. Put her here, put her here, Snow White here, 2, and then that leaves us room for an off burst 3 to actually be just kind of sitting there. Given the way your team works, Liberalia would be really good because she'd give both Snow White and Cinderella increased charge damage as well as charge speed. You don't really have her built too much right now, but it looks like your account's spread a little thin. Okay, so because you actually have overload gear on Nayuta and you have Arlene overload gear for Cinderella, these units are to stay on your team no matter what until you can actually build another team. Your main priority is focusing down one solid team so that way you can work on other teams. Does that sound reasonable? Alright, so we're gonna save this as the current team that you're working with right now, because this is what this should look like, frankly, in order for you to get maximum potential at the moment. You could swap Libby off occasionally if you needed more healing towards survivability for mana, but well, you have the ability to get Helm's favorite item too. Okay, so until you have Moran fully maxed out, don't work on Helm yet. Oh, welcome to the stream. But yeah, at this point, the main thing is getting Liberalia actually set up. Work on this team for now. As soon as you max everybody out on this team, get everybody fully geared up. Didn't mean to pull her off. As soon as you manage to get everybody on this team fully geared up, start with your burst 1 because you need to be able to go into full burst to get maximum damage. It's going to be a long and arduous road for you, and I know it's going to hurt, but when you're done, you'll be significantly happier in the end, I promise you. Drake is a great unit, especially because you have her favorite item maxed. I can see that. But at the moment, unfortunately, because you can't get to everything else you want, you have to finish focusing down this particular team so you can get to the rest of the teams. Alright, let's see what you got at the moment. We'll save this as the team to go to. And let's see what you got here going on for the card. How far have you got in Tribe Tower? This will tell me a lot. Okay, so 190 on Tribe Tower. What are you using here? This team is actually a really good team. This doesn't work. This does work. You could use an East for this, but oh, this is only if you need additional healing right now. Since you have both Anise, did you get? You do have neon. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you go ahead and work on this entirely. Fair. Pilgrims are hard to get sometimes. Alright, so since we're gonna work on this entirely, we're gonna hit your wish list now. We're gonna edit this a bit so we can help you get a little further in progression. Given the way this works, we're gonna pull delta off of this because you don't need delta. Celine is good for shotgun teams, so that's okay. You already have Yunhua invested, that's nice. And you have Emma. Tack up team is good for clearing, but keep them mostly in Elysian Tribe Tower. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a couple of units up here that'll actually get you slightly further progression as you go along. Unironically, despite me not particularly liking her, Arcana is really good. EH is also excellent for a win team if you can't get your hands on Scarlet Black Shadow. We're gonna go ahead and lock that in because that's actually really necessary. See what you have here. For Missilus, what are you missing is the question. Okay, your Missilus set is actually worthwhile. This is actually really good as is, so you don't really need to do a lot here. Tetra, you have Moran, you have Rouge. Okay, what do you not have is the question. Okay, so what I would say for Tetra specifically is I see you have Milk on here, and I personally love Milk, but until you can get your account fully set up, well, she is a burst one, but don't work on focusing her yet. Wait until you get everybody else, your main team, set up before you actually do anything with Milk, even if you happen to pull her, okay? And then for Pilgrims, I see. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Pilgrims are sometimes really hard to get your hands on. They are 1% drops, so it's a matter of just literal chance. You don't have Crown or Scarlet yet. Okay. Scarlet, regular Scarlet's not entirely necessary anymore. Scarlet Black Shadow is a must for clearing Kraken. Dorothy's good just in general. She's not where she used to be anymore, but she is just straight up good no matter what you do. You have Cinderella and Grave as well as Siren basically maxed out. You have them with MLB, and that's kind of strong. So what we're gonna do here is we want to get more Nayuta for this particular account, because since Nayuta heals based off of her final max health, more copies equals 2% stronger. 2% stronger equals just straight up more health, more damage, all of it. Alright. And see what else you need here. What's your shops looking like? Okay. Grabbing your dailies, weeklies, and monthlies. Good. Make sure you grab those every single time.
Welcome to the Raise and Rebuild Workshop. Looks like we've got company.
Okay, so you happen to have 20,000 of the batteries upgraded. Because you're using primarily Cinderella, honestly, Assault Battery is not what you want for hit rate. You want Onslaught so that way you can get more charge damage. Because a lot of your team seem to use charge damage as is. So we're going to grab as many as we can for this, which will let you level that. It should actually push you a little further to begin with. Because this currency is extremely hard to come by, Onslaught, Bastion, and Resilience, these are the 3 batteries that you really need to work on more than anything. Do not split your focus with these, otherwise it will take you months to get anywhere. Because you have to choose between Bastion or Resilience, just go with whatever is currently the highest potential of leveling. Let's see, this is at level 3 for that battery. This is at level 5. Okay, so I would say pick up Resilience battery, But honestly, you don't need a lot of those right now, and you only have 10,000 currency to work with. So I would say push as hard as you can for Bastion Battery. You need 50 in order to level, so we're going to grab 46 of these here, okay? Because you already have 4, so that will give you the ability to level this battery as is. And this battery is arguably one of the best in the game because it gives you additional ammo while you are shooting.
Just in time, dear client.
You can't really do much with these. This discounted thing you want to grab as often as possible. Body label shops usually allow you to jump overall power ratings without just, it's really underrated, but it lets you jump power ratings without even really trying much. As I said before, element books, element books, element books. These, everything from this point forward does not exist to you until you are able to get your first team solidly built, because it will help you overall grow and become significantly stronger.
Hello. This is the electronic integration system of the central
I
government.
see that you almost have 200 for golden tickets. It's actually really good as is. While you're spending for golden tickets, just
Are you looking for something? Let me
hold on to them until the next event and see if the unit's actually worth it first. If the unit's worth picking up, pick them up, go ahead. But do not build them unless the event calls for it specifically and is giving you extra currency to build them. There was an event a while back that gave you currency for building Alice, which I don't know if this is still active here. Let's find out. It's not. Okay. But a good example is the 5x5 pass here. Use the supply missions, upgrading Anise, and then upgrading Neon. This gives you additional tickets for upgrading them in general. So that's a good reason why you'd want to be able to continue doing that, because it gives you stuff like custom modules, like different pieces of gear, different tickets, and all types of things. It's never directly explained what to do with that, but that is something that you really do want to work on. So overall, let's go ahead and see what your team does for damage real quick, and then we'll walk out of here. Since the idea is to, I see. All right. So since the idea here is to try to push as hard as we can with what we have, I want Rouge here. Team positioning also will always matter. This is something I've talked about a couple times before on stream, but if you're not aware, the reason team positioning matters is because it directly will affect what you're able to, for all intents and purposes, get away with doing. A lot of the times, shotguns need to be up front unless they are support shotguns, such as, do you actually have her? Like Marciana, perfect example. You could put her in the back and she'd get additional healing for you, but you don't really need her for much else other than that, because her damage is never really going to happen. So let's see what we can get going here, right?
I'm feeling a little lazy, but I'll tag along.
Come.
This is the team we set up for you earlier.
We'll kill the queen.
Lock this in and hit that 130. Let's see what happens.
Gaze upon me, my audience.
Let's test your luck.
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I actually forgot. We need to make sure you have cubes on everybody before we go any further.
Let us continue forth upon our journey.
So let's double check that real quick, because cubes are going to give you the most optimal potentials for damage on your teams. Onslaught is, yeah, absolutely necessary here. Charge speed is necessary here, because charge speed will affect Rouge's ability to give you cooldown reduction, which is too good for no reason. Onslaught, she stays charged, perfect. And you have resilience cube on this. This gives you reload speed. Okay, reload speed is really good here, but here's the deal: because your resilience cube is only currently at 3, what I want you to do for now is focus on going with burst up because that'll actually give Naruto the ability to give you additional burst charge. Also, you almost have these set, so wait. Okay, so you almost have the ability to just completely 10 this off, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Memory absorption increases hit rate for her, which also by proxy gives increased attack damage and everything along the way. This just directly affects her overall damage, but it does give a huge attack damage bonus. So we're gonna level up this portion as well, 10 that off. And you don't have the ability to get skill 2 actually 10'd out yet, but just hold off until you can actually do that. So now let's go.
Gaze upon me, my audience.
High roller, step back. From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
You're all getting on my nerves.
From last slippers, full contact. Pour out.
A fair current seemeth to grace us.
I'll reload.
High roller, step back. Ammo check. From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
If you're wanting to work on Iron Code in the future, since that's your weakest, at the moment, you really need to finish out your max team before you do anything. But what I would suggest for working on Iron Code is, since you have Red Hood, just work on Red Hood. If you can get your hands on a couple of other units, and we'll talk about that particularly after you're done with your damage testing here, we'll go through what you can actually do to get more units built up for that. But Red Hood is going to be the way for you to just kind of breeze through that. Since you also have Bunny Milk is also really good because she is genuinely stronger than Red Hood, but one thing at a time.
High roller, step back. All good.
We're not done. Keep going.
Please bring me luck. From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Clear. But we've still got a long way
And
to
just
go.
like that, you jumped significantly in damage and in your overall unit rank. So that's a pretty good change, honestly. To answer your question from earlier, team. Oh, look at me. To answer your question from earlier, for an Iron team specifically, I would say go with, yeah, you could run Bunny Milk. Realistically, I would use Rappy as your burst 1. Or Siren, but Rappy's not a bad idea. Siren would still be good because she just does way too much for additional burn damage, and since a lot of the Iron team is going to be firing rather quickly, what I would suggest doing is go, actually yes, we would go, hold on, let's look at an Iron team for you real quick. Electric would be Iron weak, so we're gonna go ahead and pull these units out real quick and run through this. So we drop Siren here. For burst 2, you're still gonna use Naruto because Naruto is just kind of your best burst 2 until you can get your hands on Crown. Crown is incredibly difficult to get, so it is what it is. But that being said, we'll go into burst 3s from here. You don't have anybody favorited, okay? So I would say go Rappy, and you can either go Red Hood or Small White. But since you will need someone that can keep your team stabilized outside of just healing, I would say run Mana for this, because you only realistically need your DPSs to be of the proper element to get it moving. So let's see what everybody has here on them. Oh man. Okay, your account is spread a little too thin, but that is something that can be healed over time. It's just a matter of focusing down your main team first and work on one team at a time. I'll save these teams here for you so that way as you go through, as I'll save this team here so you can go through them one at a time and actually work on them as is, and then just set them up as they're already set. Red Hood is just genuinely strong. You don't have Bunny Milk built, I believe. Am I bugging? Hang on a second here. Iron sniper rifle. No, you do not. You don't actually have her built yet. Then we'll fix your synchro device as well here in a moment. Because that's something that is absolutely necessary for you to work on too. But this team for right now will be your iron team until you can actually get a little further along. The reason you want this to be your iron team is because all of them shoot really quickly. And to top it all off, at the end of the day, Siren is going to give you additional effects based off of BDR, bullets down range. So what do you have for Cube here? Yeah, Red Hood scales off of charge speed anyway, so that's necessary for her. What do you have for mana? Can you? Well, you have the ability to just overload mana, so I would do that because that gives you a couple of things as is. As you see, this actually does make her stronger, and mana's a really good healer. Like, unnecessarily so sometimes, especially if you have no one else. I do appreciate that you did not level up her burst. You're never going to use it unless you're actually using her for a win team, and if you're going to use her for a win team, just get EH or Scarlet Black Shadow. Honestly, they're just significantly better for that. Skills, what are we looking at? Okay, Rappy being dual element, by the way, is the reason you want her on this team for this. So let's go ahead and spin that 130 and see what happens.
Hopefully the commander and I... Never mind. This outfit is a real drag.
Tell me the story of victory!
From Tor, I look forward to welcoming the morning with you.
Let's wipe them out and head back.
Tell me the... From Tor...
How do I look? Sexy, perhaps? Go forth!
Welcome to the stream.
Tell me the... From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Time out!
I'm not being impatient.
Regroup! And tell me the...
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
That hurt! Let me clear my throat. Time out! Let's finish this quickly. Tell me the...
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
This outfit is a real drag. Tell me the...
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Take them down quickly! The party isn't over yet, is it? Let's go back
And see, with that, you went from 9 to 4 with an iron team, which this is what I mean. It's one of the situations where you want to focus on, for any team that you're trying to put something in specifically, focus on your main DPSs first and getting into full burst. Those are the priorities. If you can't get into full burst, do not work on your main DPSs until you have the ability to consistently go into full burst. It'll just carry you further than you are actually expecting, let me tell you. As you can see, as is, you did quite a bit more damage, honestly. So this team should be here locked in for you and saved when you come along. Alright, let's go check out your synchro device now, and we'll get off this account and switch to the next person. Aragon, I believe you asked for it next, so we'll get to there in just a second. Okay, so for the units that are not going to be used, we're pulling them just straight out. We're going to pull you out because there's no point in using regular mask. Romantic maid mask is just going to do way more work for you in the end. You've got a couple of units that need to be put into the secret device as is, so we're going to drop them in there for you. You need bunny milk here because milk is going to do some serious damage. You have neon as well, so
I don't think it's the bunny girl outfit that made me stronger. What
we
do you
can
think it
drop
was, Tom?
Tia here for neon. Okay, for whatever reason that didn't stick.
Wow! I was already healthy, but I feel even better now.
You do not need Trony leveled. As don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Trony's a bad unit, but at the same time, I'm saying Trony's not worth it comparatively to what you already have. Instead, I would say level Avastar because you could actually use Avastar for Anise, since I did see that you have Anise on this account. If you don't plan on using Avastar, you can pull her back off by any time. And frankly, if you're not going to use Avastar, then use Noah instead. Actually, we'll put Nova here instead because PvP is something that you do need to be able to do.
You are falling further behind.
And that should about cover it. Let's see where you are in the PvP arena so that way we can actually get you moving on that and get you a decent setup team. Because this will give you a ton of rewards for the most part. I see. B1. Okay. Given the way your teams are set up, you can't particularly clear this yet, so I see why you're having problems. Okay, understood. Pull this out. This can actually work, but if you're going to use this like this, then Cinderella needs to be on this team. So, alright, here's what we'll do. For the microsecond, I'm gonna never. For the microsecond, we're gonna put Phantom here, although we're not gonna use Phantom here. We're just gonna clear all these teams out all together, and I'll reset this up for you so that way you can get a little further ahead in doing this. All right, bet. So, team one should be this.
Since thou hast called upon me, I shall gladly accompany thee.
Cinderella, and then you put Mana here so that way Mana can revive whoever gets dropped for whatever reason. And then for your final flex spot, realistically you can put anybody here. I would recommend in this particular case, since you're putting a flex unit in, even though you don't really have a need for them to be here right now, I would put Alice here, only because Alice will give you additional charge speed and charge damage, which also flows along as long as you go in full burst, which flows alongside Mana doing the same thing, feeding that into Cinderella. Alright, so for team 2, you want Siren, because Siren's good for stunning people. Anise does a insane amount of damage, but so does Moran. And Moran's going to be our secret trap card here for the third team, so that way you can actually walk a little further ahead. But so since you're using Moran, Blanc is, this is the only time you can reasonably use Blanc outside of 777, purely because you're only gonna get to burst one time in PvP unless you have an insane team, and most teams won't survive a single full burst rotation. From here, you go Snow White.
Together, we'll kill the queen.
Let's see, what else do you have? Well, this is looking for bullets down range, so Snow White into Mihara, so you have additional burn damage for AoE. And you do want to be able to still hit people hard enough. Well, Blanc will provide a good amount of healing. So I would say you can do this. Or actually, we can add Quincy here, because Quincy is one of the units that's actually going to be able to do some work here as just an off burst in general. So she's never going to actually do anything with it, but she will work. For your third team,
Leave it to me.
we activate our trap card. For your burst 2, you're looking to, well, you're just looking for damage at this point, and almost anything will work. So Red Hood will be here as our 4th in case anything happens to your burst 1 or burst 2. Red Hood can fill that spot.
If you call,
Put Grave here because she's just one of the stronger units that you have. And then for your actual true burst 3s of what you're doing, you're going to go Rappy into Liberalia. So we'll put Red Hood at the far end here. This should allow you to, for all intents and purposes, just move a little further along in the PvP area. Copy these teams down for your defense when you get time, so that way you can actually get that set up properly as well. Alright, so that's pretty much it for helping Rainbow on his account, Nova. So since we actually got your account healed, congratulations, you've received some support for today, and we'll be with you for hero support later on. But in the meantime, Aragon, you asked about getting your account worked on, so if you don't mind, go ahead and send that through. We'll go to the BRB screen for a moment.
Tell me the story of Vic.
Not a problem. All right, Aragon, I'm gonna go ahead and send through the yeah, right. I'm gonna go ahead and send through the verification code. It does have about a roughly 1 or 2 minute time before it times out, so please be ready. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Sending it now. Alrighty, so we got the code through, and we'll read all of this real quick. Hang on a second here. All right, so we got it, and we're logging in. You know what, Stocknet? That's a good point. The goddess of victory we genuinely did make was the friends we made along the way. Hopefully this is... I am going to ask that all of you please check your accounts before I log in and make sure they are safe for work.
Goddess of victory.
For the background that pops up.
BA-01 down. BA-01 down.
Interesting. I don't believe this is the correct account, sir.
This will all be over soon.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say this is definitely not the correct account. Since we're currently looking at Marion here. Although this does give an interesting opportunity for us to look at Marion's skills. Because we can look at level 1 Marion and see what she does. Oh, she's the last bullet unit. Affects herself, attack up. She's a 20-second burst. Shame we don't actually get this unit even though she's a water unit. That would be really nice. So we'll quickly burn through this and get out of here so we can actually get into the proper account, because that does not appear to be the correct account, Mr. Aragon.
I can't keep this up.
Alright, that's the boss. Finish that off. That would explain a few things.
Excellent strategy, Commander. All enemies.
Gonna go ahead and skip through that real quick so we can pop out of this.
Moving.
Am I seriously required to?
Encounter.
Okay.
We're almost there. Are you feeling alright?
It seems we gotta go through the tutorial in order to get out of here. So, alright, chat. I guess you can see me lock in for this real quick. I guess this is a form of account healing in a way. It's a brand new account, so.
We did it! Whoa!
Actually, this is also good for y'all to see to begin with, so basic refresh. It is entirely possible for this to be necessary. First skills for the first time.
I will protect you, Commander.
Wow. Managed to actually finish this off.
Excellent strategy, Commander. Moving.
Alright, haha, good joke.
It should be somewhere around here. Engaging the enemy. Hang in there, Commander. I got it.
protect you, Commander. Excellent strategy, Commander. Well,
All right, and just like that, we have the anon. So we'll be dropping out of this now so we can actually get to... Yes, I know. Claim all these. We'll be dropping out of this now so we can get to the... Oh my gosh. Okay. So, better yet, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit that be right back so I can fix this. All right, so now we've logged out. Aragon, if you could send the actual account, I would appreciate. We'll send the verification code one more time and try this out here. Verification code sent. It is possible we just didn't hit NA, so we'll see if that was what it was. All right, so it says servers North America. Everything looks on the up and up so far. Let's see what happens.
Goddess of Victory, Nikke.
Do not believe this is the correct account. So, not sure why it won't let me log in through this way, which honestly is strange, but all right. So here's what we'll do. We'll come back to account healing on a different day for you and actually get that done. But in the meantime, we'll be right back yet again.
kiss of victory. Nikke.
Alright guys, so due to a little bit of technical difficulty, we'll come back to Aragon's account. In the meantime, we'll move on to another account for now, and after you've gotten that straightened out in the background Aragon, then we'll go ahead and come back to that. Sound fair enough? Okay, So, who's next? Does anybody else want account heal at the moment? All right. Send me your. Okay, so I see the email address sent. All right. I'm gonna do the login via verification, so we'll come and do that. Please be ready for the code to actually come through. All right. I'm gonna send the code in 3, 2, 1, sent. All right, let's log into this account and TC or Cosmic Chicken, as you said. Let's log in here and see what happens. Loading. Have you updated this recently? Okay, yeah, it should go through.
Goddess of victory, Nikke.
So let's see. Okay.
No peeking.
Let's stay here for safety reasons. All right. So, since we actually have this set, let's take a look at your Nikke's first and see what we're working with. Looks like you got helm worked out pretty good. Charge speed. You can stand the swap hit rate off. Okay, that needs an extra line. Hit rate can go. There's the extra line. Alright, so you actually have quite a few units built. This is not too bad, actually. Ooh. Okay. Well, it does look like you actually used your resources effectively, but it also appears that if you did spread yourself a little thin as well. So let's check the meta units and see if you have them built yet. You didn't get a chance to build an East yet. Okay, that's fine. Do you have... You have Neon here as well. Okay. Oh, and you have Chisato. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Do you mind if I use some of your resources while we're currently doing this so we can help your account heal? If not, you can do this yourself with the advice that's actually given, and by all means, just rewind the video later on if you need to, so you can get the information necessary. Okay, so with what you currently have, your burst 2s, what's your night looking like? Hit rate, defense, hit rate, charge damage, max ammo. Okay, so given what you already use, given what you already use as is, I am gonna say you work on Velvet, because yeah, okay, I see. Velvet's actually gonna be very strong for you overall. Let's see how far you've gotten with interception before we actually spend any resources to level anything up here. Fighting mirror container, I see. Okay, what are you using for this? You do not. Okay, understood. Kraken is what you're mostly going to want to be fighting, so that way you can actually level your account a little faster. For your Kraken team,
Let's go and find everyone.
you want to set up realistically,
Since thou hast called upon me,
because you have the ability to do this. Libby is going to be really good for you. Where are your other burst 3 units? Do you have any other burst 3 wind units that you could use here? No? Okay, so since you don't have other burst 3 wind units that'll be of actual value here, no offense to Noir, for now you're gonna do this, because this is going to get you moving at least, so that way you can just kind of punch Kraken in the face and keep going. We'll save this team here. That being said, we'll go ahead and work on a couple of, well, hold on, before we do anything else, let's check the tribe tower and see how far you've gotten along. 232, Missiless Tower. Are you stuck in Missiless Tower?
Let's see just how good these junk heaps are.
I'm gonna assume this is the team you're using for Missiless Tower. Alright. Okay, hold on. Before we do anything else, first things first, before we can even work on building any teams for you, your secret device needs to be worked on a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that real quick before we go anywhere, so we can get this moving. I will never understand why y'all keep putting Shoni here. Let's see who else needs to come out, so that way you can put other units that are actually of use to you at this exact moment in. Mila does not need to be here. You can use Scarlet, but especially if you have Trina. But hey, you do actually have Trina worked on, it looks like, so that's actually not bad for you overall. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Especially with Anise having recently dropped. Okay, you already have Anise put in. Good. So where's Neon? Am I blind? Alright. Alright, so put Neon in here. Just an all-rounder that you need in here. Let's see, you could use Miranda. I would use Ada, because Ada is really good for healing, or Chisato, so you got a couple units we gotta drop into here actually. You do not need Maiden actually leveled or used, so I don't know if you put gear into Maiden, we'll check that in a minute, but Chisato's one of the strongest iron DPSs in the game at the moment. Car. Regular aid is also not necessary to be here. Bunny aid is just significantly stronger at the end of the day. Let's see, what else do you have here that needs to go into the synchro device? Ein should absolutely be in the synchro device. She is not a pilgrim, but she hits like a pilgrim, so worth it. What else do you have that needs to go in here? Okay.
You didn't have to go all out like this, but thanks anyway.
Hold up, are you using Tia? Okay, Tia's gonna get robbed, first of all. Yeah, okay, cool, we're not using Tia. So we're gonna pull Tia out of this, because Tia is just not necessary anymore. Tia Naga used to be a really, really strong team when the game first started in the first 2 years, but we've moved past that since there's been a lot of developments lately. Given what you currently have... Okay, so D-Killer Wife should be put in here as well because she's just great for Pierce team and cooldown reduction in general.
Oh my, looks like my stamina has improved.
Are you using regular cooking? You are. You have her geared and you have her leveled. You can work on guillotine if you want to, but guillotine's not necessary. This needs to come out, period. I guess you can keep her here because you gave her overload gear, but it's not a need. Just straight up not a need. Same for Cocoa. So we'll pull Cocoa out in this particular case since you don't actually have her worked on, I believe. I'm going to hope. Let me double check that, make sure I'm not wrong. And that we're gonna drop Arcana in here.
The goddess of fate is smiling upon me.
Honestly, actually, you have shotguns that you actually could be working on as well. So in that case, where is she? Because I know I saw her here on your account. These two need to be in here. So Crown of Fortune.
I can't get too smart. I think being a little airheaded is kinda attractive.
Not even gonna respond to that. Who else can you afford to boot out of here that's unnecessary? Please tell me you didn't work on this unit. Okay, cool. You did not actually work on Delta yet, so you can drop all of this off of her. We're kicking her out of here. Replace her for Celine. Because Celine is just great for shotguns altogether.
I've grown even more.
Okay. Well, alright. In that case, since we are killing the account after all, this is just best to work this way. When you can, try to unlock at least one more row of units. Don't spend gems for it if you don't have to. Oh, but you have the devices. Alright, boom. So we're gonna do this. Ooh, sorry, I did not mean to spend gems there. We'll get the 500 gems back before I log off. Since you have room to do this now, and you have the ability to get Senti's favorite item. Why? Okay, hold up. Senti does need to go in here because she's not the greatest unit, and do not get the last part of her favorite item, but the first two parts are invaluable for PvP and actually just regular content as well. If you get the third part of it, it does slightly brick her a bit, so not needed.
Getting closer to completion.
Miranda should go in here because
I'm growing stronger.
She's just great for Snow White and Snow White adjacents. Same for Tuve, because Tuve is just good for shotguns in general, and I see you have quite a bit of shotgun units up here as is. You could flex out Miranda for Raven, because Raven is also very strong for iron, but depends on what you're trying to do. Let's see, do you have anybody else that needs to be in here? Arcana could go in here, but Arcana is only great if you use Isabel. And other than that... Okay then, well... I didn't see the Dorothy there a second ago. So, Tuve, we can drop you for Dorothy, because Dorothy is really strong.
Thank you. I will give you results.
Yeah, and with that, now we can start working on the meat and potatoes of this particular account workout. Let's see what you're looking like for advise on units, because advising the units are always going to... Advising units is always going to give you the most efficient power boost without having to struggle too hard. Okay, so in this particular case, work on Anise, work on Neon, work on Dorothy, so that way you can get those base power jumps as fast as possible for those. I'm gonna back out of here for a second and go back to the actual Nikke. So now we're gonna work on actually fixing some units directly. Oh boy. Okay. If nothing else, this is a need. No. This is Tetra Gear. We need Tetra Gear for this. So we're gonna rob a couple of your other units so that way Anise can get the gear that she absolutely needs, so you can build her quickly. Not even gonna ask. Okay. Given the second, you have quite a bit of material to level them too. Okay, cool. So we're gonna just quickly, yeah, we'll do that. Can't get it past 1, so we'll knock this up to 1 here. Also get this level 1. Do not overload one piece at a time. Just overload all of them and then work on leveling them one piece at a time. That's the most efficient way to get that done. You have 281 rock. Okay. Crit rate, charge damage. We're gonna lock that charge damage in because that's got quite a bit of resources to do some work with. Alright, cool. So we can actually do a good amount of account healing here, so we can actually help you out. That's a very good change. Lock those down. See if we can get a third line out of this. Oof, just getting really unlucky with these third lines here. Alright. This is something that's going to take you a bit to actually get worked in, but necessary is necessary, frankly. Spin that wheel. I know it's tedious, but it is overall going to help. No, I can't fix Arya's hairline. That's something that the devs got to work with, and I am not an artist for this game. Merely a content creator that happens to know a little bit too much of what to do with this. Jeez. Talk about actually unlucky. That's a little crazy. There we go. Alright, we got crit rate for that. So when you can, you're going to want to try to spend some time to get this to be elemental damage, but it works for now. Crit rate, charge speed. Charge speed, yes, we locked that. The other two can spin. Absolutely not. I don't like the hit rate part, but we can keep that for now because it's at least not draining your resources and an extra thing. Rocket launchers and sniper rifles have pinpoint accuracy in this game. Actually, we'll see if we can spin it one more time. But rocket launchers and sniper rifles have pinpoint accuracy in this game, so you genuinely just don't need those. So that is a good roll. So keep that. Alright, work on leveling these up as soon as you can, because it'll actually get you a little further along. You want her on charge damage cube. Okay, so you just don't have the ability to level up the charge damage cube at the moment. This means that we're going to have to spend some time in your store here in a second to see what's going on there. Let's look at Siren, because Siren's also really, really strong. 2 lines, 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. This isn't too bad, actually. Charge damage is just not necessary. Alright, one at a time we'll go down. Yikes, third lines are so difficult to get. There we go. They'll take that. Crit rate's not bad here. This, we're just going to reroll the whole thing. Force it. Charge damage can go. So there's a line 2. That's actually easier to get our hands on at least. Hit rate, perfect. Alright, this only has 1 line for hit rate to begin with, so let's see what happens if we just spin the wheel. You know what? The increased attack is actually worth, so we can keep that. It's actually a good amount of increased attack as well, so lock that in and see if we can get more lines. We are not keeping charge damage, absolutely not. Siren is a submachine gun, so charge damage is not necessary. Crit rate and charge damage. Okay. Well, at least you've got a third line on this, so here's what we'll do. Lock these. Spin again. LM damage. Now that's what we're looking for here. Okay, so actually, we don't even need the increased defense on this. Or crit rate's not bad, but you can reroll the whole thing wholesale. Take the increased crit damage because that's actually good. Lock that in and see if we can get more. That's not bad. So that increased attack is just spicy. Now we just need to get rid of that charge speed and we should be good to go. Also, the reason you want 3 lines on all of your gear is because it just gives you, it provides passive power regardless of what it is. Passive power is still passive power. Now you want something that's going to be optimal for the units, but passive power is still passive power. Okay. Ammo cap. That's a really good roll. Okay, cool. So let's look and see what your boots are looking like. This we can work with. This is pretty good here. We're looking good on that. Alright, so Siren seems to be at least kind of fixed up here. That actually works out for you in the end, so you should do a lot more damage with her now. Let's see, who else are we working on? Who's gonna get this healing today? After you have finished building Rouge specifically, and actually, see, because you have Siren built up, work on Anise. And then after you finish Denise, work on Rouge. After you finish Rouge, work on Dorothy. That should be the order. You can work on Celine, but given the fact that you don't, I don't think you have a lot of element books. Let me double check that.
Still not used to me like this, huh? I'm right there with you.
What's your inventory looking like? Yeah, because you don't actually have a lot of element books right now. You're going to need to focus down one unit at a time so you can actually get to the point of doing that. So burst 2 will work with. We're just gonna leave the Nihilister there because Nihilister. Hit rate and defense, not bad. Can we spin for something better? Hit rate, crit rate, and it's a first and second line. Alright, we'll change that actually. We want to keep that third line at least locked in. So let's spin and see if we can get something better for the other two. Ammo cap. Well, ammo's not bad for her, but you only need one line of ammo, frankly. And that's a really big line for ammo, so we're going to lock this down here. Yeah, I agree. Now there's a bit of a Trojan horse. She looks so cool, but the devs just kind of did her really dirty. All right, so we're gonna lock these boys down in. You know what? Blue lock that. And just spin all together to see if we get anything higher here. Worth it. That attack up is nice. So now let's spin again. We want to get a secondary line here. That's the biggest deal. And sometimes this is a bit time consuming. I know it's the most boring part of the game, but if you want to get stronger, this is necessary. See, no, that's good. That's a really good piece there. All right, let's see. Hit rate, charge damage. This is actually not bad. These two you can keep, absolutely. So we'll just regular custom lock these. And see if we can just get a third line on this. Hopefully a one and done. Yes, and element damage at that. That's a really good line. Okay, cool. Since this is also ammo capped, what's the other one? This is 68. This is 60. Okay, you can keep the ammo cap here, but when she goes into full burst, she just kind of has unlimited ammo as is. So for now, we will keep this and see what we get. But let's see if we can get anything better along the way. Increase element damage. We'll keep that. Yeah, absolutely. Lock that in, and now we'll try to spin it. Let's see what happens. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not decreasing power. That's not what this is for. It's to heal, not harm. All right, spin again. Hit rate. All right. See, just like that, we got a third line, and already she's looking strong. This is a good piece. This piece is set. This piece is set. And what are your boots looking like? Charge damage we'll keep. We don't need multiple lines of, we don't need more than 2 lines of ammo cap, especially considering you have 2 big lines of ammo cap as is. So let's change that. Charge speed is not bad for this actually. So we will actually spin that in, lock these on, lock these down. Actually, see if we can get a better charge speed line while we're at it, because that charge speed line is all right, but nada. Jeez. Is this normal? Does this happen to you all the time? Like when you're trying to roll for more stats? Because I could see why you stopped for a little bit if that's the case. It is a little rough. Fine, we'll take that ammo. We really don't want ammo here, but Something better than nothing. There we go. Significantly better. Alright, she dropped a little bit in power, but that's going to change as you get more along the way, because frankly, being able to get her to just pop off into her burst is more important since she has unlimited ammo at that point. And having charge speed and charge damage is what she wants, because she becomes basically a rocket launcher at that point. Alright, what do you have for your Velvet? Let's see. You need a Tetra headpiece. No, Tetra chest piece, so we're taking this from Cocoa because Cocoa does not need it. What do you have for collection dolls? Nothing. Okay. I'm gonna assume you don't have enough dolls to combine or exchange. No. Well, you do, but it's not worth it because you can't guarantee you're gonna get the doll you need out of that. So it's better to keep the other ones. All right. Yeah, just work on setting down. Well, because you actually have a pretty good account altogether. Just work on getting the units that we already got preset worked on. Once you have your burst 1, in this particular case, Anise actually set up and built, then you can move on to burst 2. For burst 2s, Nayuta and Velvet, those two are going to be mandatory for you to perfect. We did actually do a good bit for Nayuta here, but you do need to finish leveling up the rest of her gear. Sorry about the noise in the background. And then let's see for burst 3. This is not bad. You do not need a hit rate on this, so let's see if we can spend that out and get something else. We don't want to lose power here. Helm seems to be your main unit, and crit rate is, yes, that's actually really good for her because she gets crit rate on last bullet anyway. And this is not bad. Hit rate's the only thing you need to get rid of, and since that is the first line, it will change. That we don't have to worry about. Not max ammo. That is not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing today. Alright, we're gonna blue lock these because you don't really have a means of keeping them otherwise. More crit rate, perfect. So that means she should have almost 100% crit rate when you actually go into combat with her. Charge speed and LM damage, nice. Lock that in, see if we can get a secondary line on this. Charge damage, we're absolutely picking that up. This max ammo can go. Charge crit damage, we want to keep that. So let's see if we can get the other two going. This is just a great piece altogether. All right. And just like that, Helm is done. That was the quickest one out of all of them so far. Cool. Let's see. For your other burst 3s, what do we have we're looking at? Okay. Oh, you have heavy arms. Okay. You also have neon. Do you have neon built? Do not. Alright, so we're gonna just quickly rob a few people for neon stuff. Regular Mihara does not need gear. If it was bonding chain, understandable, but regular Mihara does not need gear. So it looks like we can just take all the gear from her and do that this way. You do have a rocket launcher doll, so yes, this is going here because Neon is a little too strong to just not give her the like, bruh. When you get a chance, please build her. Like, just after you have worked on the other units, work on Neon because that is so good. It's not even funny. Let's see what you have for Chisato. Looks like you almost have all the abnormal gear necessary. Yeah, so we're just gonna casually rob A2 here. For this, you can give Chisato the doll, but that's entirely up to you. And your cap's looking a little spicier here. Alright, so let's see, what else do you need for mandatory units? Let's check your Rappy and make sure she's alright. That's not bad. It's not bad either. This could use some work on, so we'll look at that in a second. This definitely needs work. Alright, so we're going to keep the attack increase here and spin the other two lines. We'll start working backwards on this particular case. Max ammo, yes. Lock that in. Line 2. Increased defense, we'll take it. Ammo, you don't need charge speed. I know Rappy's effects appear as if she's charging, but you genuinely don't need charge speed on her. Or charge damage, but that's not a bad pickup. Increased defense, charge damage. Can we get something else? No. Troll. We want LM damage and attack on this if we can help it. We also don't want to go too far and burn out all of your rocks, because that's just not going to work. Attack hit rate, we can take that. Alright, so we'll lock the attack in here and see if we can spin that hit rate for elemental damage. Oh my. Alright, so if we get to 60 rocks and we haven't hit elemental damage, we're stopping. We're just gonna move on to another piece. Because hit rate is unnecessary, frankly. Okay, well, apparently the reroll gods did not smile upon us today, but that's fine. We can make this work. You do want to lock in hit rate as much as possible. Well, not hit rate, ammo cap as much as possible for Rappy, because the goal is to try to get as close to 1,000 ammo as possible for her. That's a blue line for crit rate. That's really nice. Lock that down, absolutely. And the third line is all we care for here. Alrighty. Cool. Let's see if we can just hard reroll this. That's not fair. That's just not fair. You know what? We're gonna keep that, lock that in. And then reroll the other two. Crit damage comes out really nice here. Okay. So now we're only looking for the first line, and that's significantly easier to get. Elemental damage. Perfect. There you go. Well, this is actually not bad. Let's see if we can get one more good line, at least elemental damage. Alright, well, we can't get any more LM damage right now, so I would say this is not bad.
Whatever you ask of me, Commander.
Liberalia, what we're looking at. Elemental damage, crit rate, whole crit damage, elemental damage. Charge speed, crit damage. Hit rate, crit damage. LM, charge damage. Okay. All of these need a third line. At the moment, you don't have really a whole lot of rocks to work with, so we're not going to spin for a third line here, but what we will do is try to at least fix that first line. That'll work. Okay. else do you have that's going to end up being useful to you in the end? Because you're looking for big damage really fast. Let's look at your Snow White. First of all, offended. Please build her. But I understand if you don't have the resources to do that right now. It looks like you do have quite a bit of resources, just not enough. Alright, so we're going to come out of this. It's pretty much a majority of what we can do for your Nikkes directly right now. So let's see what we can do for indirect help on this. Cash shop? Hello? Dailies, weeklies, monthlies. Those are all grabbed. Main shop. Let's see what we're looking at for the main shop.
Higher buildings? You name it, I can make it for you and fast. Looks like we've got company.
Body labels. No, we're not working with that. Okay. Because you have alternative gear and you have 429k, you can afford to buy these. At least every so often. Frankly, you can afford to buy all of these because you need the element books at all times. So we're going to go ahead and grab those for you real quick. You don't have any tickets left. You do have quite a bit of this, so grab these, grab these. If you want these later on, you can grab those on your own. Necessary things. What are you looking like for leveling on the outpost here? Synchro device. Okay. If you're using the trade mechanic to trade one resource to level for another to get Cordas, please stop doing that. It's going to hurt you more than you think. You can only do it about 2 or 3 times before you can't really recover from it. So since we've actually gotten a bit of damage and overall lockout for you, so let's see what we can actually get. Is there any team specific you want help with at the moment? Because we're going to go ahead and run a damage test for you and see where it goes. Given what your team already is, honestly. Should actually be able to do this reasonably. Alright. That doesn't say, it doesn't tell me anything, so we're just gonna pick one here and randomly swing. Let's see. Currently you're at 10th on this. Alright, so this seems to be the one that you're struggling the most with, and weak point is wind. So, here's what we're going to do. Since we just fixed this up a little bit.
Let's go and find everyone.
Siren. Naito.
Called upon me, I shall gladly accompany thee.
And your DPSs, in this particular case, are going to end up being these two. We'll have Helm here for off burst because Helm is going to actually end up doing a good bit of work for you. Try to focus this as your main team for now because this will actually give you the best results possible until you can get your hands on Crown. And then when you get your hands on Crown, you just swap out Helm for Crown realistically. But in the meantime, let's get going. See how it goes. 1 minute 30 seconds. We'll lock it in.
Don't expect me to give it my all. Tell me the story of victory. Hell hath no fury like a woman awoken.
A fair current seemeth to grace us.
I look forward to welcoming the morning with you.
Go forth! I'll do my best. Cheer me on.
as is, you can see it for yourself. You have a surprising amount of healing here.
I shall attain enlightenment.
Yes! Good! Tell me the
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Take them down quickly!
I'm perfectly calm right now.
I'm going. Tell me the
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Fire! Tell me the story of victory!
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment.
Fire! Tell me the
From torment freed, I shall attain enlightenment. To grace us.
All right. You went from 10th to 2nd place on this. That I would say that is quite a marginal jump, honestly. Liberalio and Rappy did a majority of the damage here, but Nayuta is no slouch. And Siren also did a good amount of damage. So, yes, absolutely work on this so you can actually get this team going. The same thing I said for Rainbow earlier. Getting your team... The main thing is getting one team absolutely locked down so that way you can working on the rest of your teams. You can't actually do damage if you don't have a means to legitimately level up your team in a reasonable way. Let's go ahead and put in one more team for you real quick and see what we can do with this. Weak point's electric and you seem to focus on that as is. So here's what we'll do. Let's take a look at Trina, see what you have for her. Actually, let's work on Scarlet first because she's going to be your main DPS here. Charge speed, hit rate. Not bad. Not bad. You don't need charge damage on that. Everything here nice except for the charge damage. That can go. Alright, that can stay. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. You don't even need charge speed. This one's an AR. That's a really good piece, Lock. Oof. That ammo cap is too necessary. Alright, so we're gonna lock in the ammo cap. And see if we can get everything else moving. You know what? Take that. We don't want to spend too much doing this at the moment, so we're going to keep effects. The charge damage does need to be rerolled, so work on rerolling that when you can. Keep the ammo. Because keeping Scarlet swinging is the biggest deal. You're unlucky. Okay, that's a really good piece. Crit damage, ammo cap, that's good. Charge damage can change, so lock this in for instance you actually have max ammo set here. Element damage, that's actually really good. Alright, cool. So what's your Trina looking like? We can just re-roll this all together, see what we get out of it. Not worth it. Okay, so with Trina being a support, yes, I understand why you stopped for a while, and I get it, but you literally need this work done. Given the way this is going to work, do you have Rouge? You do have Rouge. Is Rouge built? Do not have her built yet. Okay. This is not a bad team, so let's just see what this does at the moment. It says you're 6th here. 7th. Okay. This is absolutely going to do more damage. So hold on. Let's see where we hit.
If we can't clinch the victory,
Tell me the story of victory!
Behold my ultimate blade.
is the time of true beauty.
Alright, let's keep going. Reloading. Cover me.
Tell me the nature. Glass slippers, full contact. Pour out. Now is the time of true beauty.
Reloading. Cover me. Alright, let's keep going.
Tell me the nature is a beautiful thing. I'll do my best. Cheer me on. Tell me the nature is a beautiful thing.
We can do it faster.
Tell me the nature is a
Feels
beautiful thing.
overflowing vitality.
Tell me the nature is a
All
beautiful
gun ports
thing.
open. Fire! Alright, let's keep going. Slow and steady wins the race. Reloading. Cover me.
Right, and just like that, you went from 6th to 2nd. And see, this is what I mean by working on. No, Nihilister's not here, and Nihilister will never be here. If you're currently stuck in story right now, then my suggestion would be use that win team. I'll use the team that we previously set up, this team here. Just go over your iron, look at this team, copy this team down, use this team to clear story, because this will actually get you through a lot of things. But going to 2nd place off this is a huge marginal jump, and I would absolutely have to say that's incredible. That's a pretty good rank. That's a pretty good fix altogether. In the future, I will do another account healing stream for people that are interested in this, because this seems to be something that's very helpful for all of you altogether. So, all right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and pop on to the next account, and after that, we'll see what we can do. Let's see if we can get into Aragon's account for right now. Aragon, you still with us, buddy? Not a problem, Nova. That's what I'm here for. Alright, well, it seems like we can't get through with Aragon, so anyone else that is interested in account healing, please go ahead and send me your info via Discord. Just the email address, and we'll go from there. Okay, Dante. So we'll go ahead and do that. You still here with us, Dante? Okay. Doesn't appear that Dante's here in stream at the moment, so we'll move on to the next one for now. Dragon, we'll actually work with yours, buddy. Alright, Dragon, I'm gonna go ahead and send the verification code. I'm gonna need that verification code sent. Just send it via Discord. Sending it in 3, 2, 1, sent. Alrighty, and we're in, so let's see what happens here.
Goddess of Victory, Nikke.
You know what? I can't even. I can't. It's at least safe for work.
I am the CEO of Tetraline, the greatest showman in the entire art.
All right, so let's see what's going on here. Understood. Let's take a look at your outpost first and see what's going on out here. Recycling room. This is actually important to level. General research. Level that up. Take a look at your bulletin board. Does still works. Synchro device. Where you at? Okay, so you actually could pull a couple of units out of the synchro device at this point, because these are just not going to help you at all. Granted, if you want to use them, you're more than welcome to clear the game like that, but you will spend a lot more time than necessary doing that, frankly. Reset these all back to level 1, because that's kind of, I mean, this just gives you a lot of room to work with, so that's not bad. All right, it gives you a fair amount of room to work with. Let's see, what else do you have here currently? You could, this needs to go in here, because Rouge is just really good.
Coin Rush will be able to beat me today.
Fine can go in here, because she's also good.
Yahoo! I'm gonna brag about this to the others.
Yunhua, well, Yunhua's good if you have other units to work with her. So for now you can put her in here, but keep an eye on her because she's currently on Frog Watch. Litter is litter. She's not bad, but she is really good for quickly leveling up. It seems you're stuck at the 160 wall. Okay, understood. Since you're stuck at the 160 wall, let's take a look real quick. See if we can actually do anything about that. Where are you at with ticket wise? You need more of these. Who do you currently have actually set up for the bonus recruits? Units. Let's take a look at your units. Alright. Helm's already. Oh, and Helm's favorite item is really good. So yeah, you're working on her quite well. This is a really strong account for starting early. Let's see, any materials you could reclaim at the moment? Not particularly. Well, let's check these units out actually, see if we can grab anything off them. That's another thing. After you guys log back into your accounts, I do recommend taking a look at the units that were pulled off. Anything that they have on them that's unnecessary, just yoink that. Alright, you don't need any of that stuff at the moment. Okay, so, I see. And in terms of overall limit break, what are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4. A Nayuta or Elig would be peak for you right now. Okay. So then let's see what you're looking like stats wise. Because do you have overload gear? You do not currently. That's fine because you're not actually past the 160 wall, so it's not important for you to have overload gear. Who could we rob for a nice gear though? Nobody. You don't have enough gear to actually work with that at the moment. Milk is still useful. Air bundle. Okay. So it's all good. You can't really help that right now. What do you have for inventory though? Yes. This is actually good setups to start. Let's see what happens here. Pilgrim piece. Well, do you have any pilgrims that could actually use that? Let's find out. Oh, crown needs a leg piece. Crown needs, crown gets. Absolutely worth it. Hold on, do you have any other pilgrims you can get a headpiece from? Nothing worth. Alright. Let's see. Didn't mean to pop out of there. Let's go back in real quick. Alright, well, what's your main team? That's a pretty good main team. I nothing to say on that. It's actually worth it. Alright, so I got good news and bad news for you, Dragon. The good news is you're pretty healthy. You just need to get past the 160 wall before you can really do much else. The bad news is you need to get past the 160 wall before you can do anything else. So 140, cleared all these. Interception, what are you looking at? Oh boy. Alright. It's gonna be a pain for you for a little bit. Alright, so yeah, the main thing for you is being able to actually climb past the current setting so that way you can actually get to a point where you can continue leveling units. Overload gear is going to be more important for you than anything else. So since you have both Anise and Neon from what I saw, this is going to be your best friend until you can just walk past it, because you're going to keep hitting this as often as you can. Getting I want to actually be clear about this because this is something the game doesn't explain to you immediately. Yeah, yeah. This is something I do kind of want to explain because the game does not immediately explain this with the... Where is it? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna quickly grab all this for you. This is just necessary things. Yeah, grab all those. You can grab anything else you want out of here later on your own.
Are you looking for something? Let me help you.
This shop in particular, where you see all these spare bodies, unless you see a spare body for Alec Pop, don't bother at the moment. Which is rough, but kind of facts. Can we even... What would you get out of this? Hold on. Let's see what your privy is looking like. No, you can only get one copy of her and it wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, there's not a lot I could do here for you, friend. And that's... I hate saying that, but it's kind of a fact. Because the only thing that would actually work and at this point for you is, for all intents and purposes, just being able to get past that 160 wall. But the moment you are able to jump past the 160 wall, then we can definitely do a little bit more for you here on account healing. So this is a good time to stop here. We're gonna go ahead and pop out of this account, and that's about the best we can really do. So since that's the best we can do with this at the moment, and we don't have any other accounts that can be directly healed, we can work on other accounts in the future for people that are needing account healing. If you need account healing, please come through to another stream yet again, and thank you all for being here for Goddess of Victory Nikke. That being said, this is Mighty saying Wolf out, and I love you. Like, subscribe, and comment, and, you know, feel free to share the video. It helps with engagement and helps other people get the same amount of attention and overall help that you guys got. But with that being said, bye.